Welcome to the Marketing Leadership Series. Today we have a very special guest. It's KUMAR from Entropia. How's the journey been so far?
Well, it's been challenging but very, very rewarding. So in the last 18 months, Entropia, which started from 16 people, now we are almost 100 people.
That's awesome.
And a roster of some 27 blue chip clients like KFC, Samdabi, Petronas, CIMB Bank, AIA, Nippon Paints, Ethika, and so on and so forth.
Right. What made you actually want to start out on your own, as opposed to? I'm sure you were very comfortable with your previous employer.
I'm a strat planner at core. I'm a strategic planner, and as a strategic planner, you always have a vision of how things should be, what the future should be like. Now, obviously, operating as a part of a global network, there are always certain constraints on your degrees of freedom. So much as I am very grateful to IPG, I think I learned to be a good leader in IPG, and in so many ways, IPG gave me a lot, and I returned that as well. But when I turned 40, I thought it was a perfect time to break free and start something on my own. So in '99, I had started a .com company. So I've always had a bit of entrepreneurial bug. So yeah, you could call it the midlife crisis.
Right. And 40 is perfect because you have the wisdom of making mistakes, but you still have the energy of that youth as opposed to.
Absolutely perfect. You have the perfect balance between wisdom and energy. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is very key in professional services.
Yes, it's key in everything, but especially, yes, client servicing and working in this area of thought leadership. So now, this show is for the marketers out there, and it's to actually help them with something tangible that they can use. So if there's just one piece of advice you could give to a marketer out there today, what would it be?
I would tell them to avoid buying into the cult of the new. Not everything that's new in marketing or sexy actually sells. There is a massive global hype machine which is almost become like pop culture, where people are perennially obsessed with what's the next thing. It is important that the starting point and the end point of all their marketing decisions must be what works for their business, what matters to their consumers, rather than what's new out there in the market and how do I belong to that hype bandwagon. I think that's the worst thing that you could do to your business.
Absolutely. So what are the hype words out there now that you think that we should be less focused on?
So for instance, bots. Now, of course, there is a role for bots in the futures that we are going to belong to. However, it is important to define very clearly what strategic role can bots have in your business, what consumer value do you create, and how do you deliver that value, and in that entire value chain, is there a significant role for bots to play? Can they make it better and significantly better for consumers to go through the hassle of adopting it? If these things are thought through well, and then you go about doing your bots, it is a lot more effective and sustainable and adds genuine value to your consumers rather than just doing it because it's the in thing.
Right. Absolutely. I think you're so right. Some research has to be done for us to really understand whether it's really necessary and how it adds value to the total big picture, as opposed to just saying that XYZ is the in thing now.
Correct.
Absolutely right. So that said, what are the buzzwords that you think you should pay attention to?
Well, AI is one buzzword, and flip side of AI is that even normal analytics these days, people have started calling it AI. Uh, so it is being misused as a concept quite a lot. But having said that, AI offers some amazing opportunities to make our life simpler. As you know, we live in a world where people want to live more life per life. At any point of time, you are living in 3 different attention zones,
Minimum.
yeah, and so people are living multiple lives simultaneously, and then every few years people are evolving, reinventing themselves and stuff like that, and so they are trying to crunch a whole lot more into one life. uh, AI has the power to take out the logistical part of that evolution and that multi-living from our lives. So it for sure is an opportunity that one should watch out for, and in many little ways it has already started seeping into our lives. For instance, the way Facebook curates feeds for us, the way Google enables us, the way many of these apps are using big data to make our life easy by leveraging artificial intelligence. I think that is great.
Fantastic. So if AI then is something to take notice of and pay attention to, what do you see as the future? What does the future look with AI? In your, I mean, nobody can predict, right? But what is your point of view on this?
So there is a beautiful quote from someone who said that a raindrop falling down the valley may take different paths, but the general direction is down. You know where the general direction is. So I believe that future of living, and so for the future of commerce, is personal and anticipatory. So data will enable us to anticipate what people may need in a particular moment, and be able to personalize to what they will specifically need. All right, that is the future, and the pace may differ category to category, but that future can't be disputed.
Well, I mean, you've answered part of
Yeah.
it, but I guess the follow-up question from this would be, what does it mean for Entropia, the future in AI?
So we have our big data team, Sentient, which is focused on using the power of cognitive computing and big data techniques, the predictive models, to be able to create those anticipatory intelligence for our clients, so that they are able to improve the delivery experience, improve the product experience, improve the capacity utilization, and so on and so forth. So it has implications across the demand chain actually.
So AI is a big word, but basically it's just 2 letters, A and I. What does it actually mean to the layperson or to a marketer in general?
Well, they say that a story is data with a soul. So given sufficient brain power, you can make the subjective issues into a vast number of objective problems. So algorithms today have the ability to discern even the minutest of patterns, and when those patterns are aggregated over vast amounts of data, billions and billions of different data instances, then you can really start modeling predictions. And that in a nutshell is the crux of what AI is. But if you think about it, AI is just trying to simulate how neurons behave in the brain. Like neural networks are a very important mathematical technique behind a lot of AI or machine learning stuff going on. So they are trying to simulate how our brains work. So the important thing is that it may be difficult to simulate creativity, true origination, but a lot of logistical work that our brain does can be mediated by AI, leaving us free to focus on doing original things, doing more interesting things, doing origination.
Fantastic. I think that's a good analogy. So AI is like your second brain.
It can be your second brain, and in fact, I was speaking at DMEXCO in Germany in 2014, and I mentioned that AI would be like our exobrain, because you have data being collected by so many different technology platforms, and someday all that data could be pulled together to actually form an alternative backup brain for you, which may not be able to solve the most sophisticated choices or problems, but for most of the day-to-day choices it would be accurate enough for you to prefer that over actually applying your own brains.
Awesome, awesome. The future is so bright, hey?
It's fascinating for sure, yeah, and the future must be happy.
And what's the future like for, especially for you moving forward? What areas are you looking to expand into? What areas do you want to, what things do you want to embrace with your teams? Any sort of things you want to share?
Definitely. I mean, we are being called upon more and more by clients to help them undergo digital transformation. So they hire us for digital transformation consulting. Also, a lot of Malaysian multinational clients call upon us to bring world-class excellence here right on the Malaysian soil. If you look at the core Entropia team, they were all running regional, they were all in regional roles in their previous stint. So there is a tremendous amount of regional and global experience that we have in our team, which is quite unique and special, which is very useful for Malaysian multinationals.
Okay, thank you so much, Prashant. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you very much.